welcome to a new short video where I want to talk about the Vivo X200 Pro. No, I sadly don't have it, I just have the X100 Pro here in my hands. But nevertheless, I got so many questions, people asking me, what do you think about the cameras? Can you test it? Can you try it out? Yeah, I try my best to get hands on it, but as I'm on vacation in just a few days, but I'm going to China, maybe I get my hands on the Vivo X200 Pro actually. The X100 Pro I have here in my hands, and we want to do a short spec comparison because some people say, it seems to be a downgrade, especially for the main camera sensor in comparison to the X100 Pro. And on paper, when you take a look at the specs, yes, you get a smaller, slightly smaller sensor here. Instead of 1 inch that we have here with the IMX989, we get an 1/1.28 inch, almost 1/1.3 inch size sensor. That is definitely smaller, but it's a new generation of sensor. The Sony Light 818 or 818, that is a new generation kind of sensor that has lots of improvements, especially when it comes to HDR and EV stops that it can support, just like the OV50K that I like so much on my Magic 6 RSR. This one also provides you with lots of HDR, better dynamic range, and also with less noise in darker situations, which is, I think, also pretty handy. So nope, you won't notice this as a downgrade, especially as this sensor is slightly smaller, but the aperture is slightly wider open. So even in terms of bokeh, you can expect something very similar. So we have f1.8 on the X100 Pro and we have f1.6 on the new X200 Pro. With a slightly smaller sensor, you can expect bokeh that is almost the same there. Maybe a slightly bit more creamy here on the X100 Pro, but this is just because the pixels are a bit larger there. Where we will notice the difference is definitely at night time, because yes, the larger sensor here should perform a bit better, but because of better noise reduction on the newer sensor of the X200 Pro, what we will see there is that in terms of noise performance, it's almost the same as with the X100 Pro and comes very close maybe to the X100 Ultra that has even a newer sensor there. So yes, I think that this one here, the X100 Pro, is still very good, but the X200 Pro will have less noise. And you have to keep in mind, together with new algorithms that optimize the device, the main camera sensor is not a concern for me at all for the X200 Pro. It has some benefits because this large kind of camera bump that you see here on the X100 Pro, you might not have to have it because of the 1 inch type sensor, and you can still put in a very large periscope zoom like they did for the X200 Pro. They put the same in that we have here, maybe in a newer vision that we have in here of the X100 Ultra that I'm recording this video with right now. This 200 megapixel Samsung sensor here offers 3.7 times magnifications, and they optimized it even more. So I think they optimized, first of all, the design of the optics, and second of all, they optimized the algorithms in more longer kind of zooms, because this is where the X100 Ultra is kind of disappointing, because up to like 10 times it's okayish and can compete and even beat some others, but when it goes like over this 10 times, then it's like not so great anymore. And this is an issue that I also noticed with the Honor Magic 6 and 6 RSR, that this large kind of sensors that promise, like, thanks to the crop in and lots of megapixels, lots of details in further and zooms, are not delivering so much here. The ultra wide angle on the X200 Pro in comparison to the X100 Pro. The ultra wide angle was a bit weak on the X100 Pro, and sadly it's the same sensor that we had on the X100 Pro, so, and probably the same lens. We don't see much of an improvement, only like maybe processing that has improved there slightly. It's 50 millimeters, so it's not the widest there. 14 would be, I think, more ideal here. But nevertheless, I think it's pretty good because it was very good here as well for what it can perform and do. On the front-facing camera here, we have a little bit of a larger cutout, as you see here eventually. It has been made a bit smaller, but the sensor there is the same sensor, not as in here in terms of megapixels. It looks to be 32 megapixels, but it has improved a lot. I think there they have 4K recording on the front, and they, I think, optimized as well in terms of stabilization. What I'm really interested in is more the software optimizations they do to the whole system, because it looks like a merger of the X100 Pro together with the X100 Ultra. And this born with a new camera sensor is then the X200 Pro. So it is an upgrade, but for people who have the X100 Pro, just wait for the X200 Ultra at least, if not the X300, because you have a very good device, and paying as much as you paid, even maybe a little bit more for the X100 Pro, now for the X200 Pro, wouldn't make any sense for my in my idea, at least. Yeah, I'm pretty sure to see very nice macro shots on the X200 Pro, very nice shots in general, optimizations in terms of software. Maybe some of those optimizations in terms of software can land on the X100 Pro, and definitely also on the X100 Ultra, especially when it comes to the longer range zoom optimizations that they made with the algorithms there. Hopefully they will land soon as well, so we can try this out. And like I said, I'm going to China, so maybe I have the chance to get X200 Pro in my hands, maybe even the X200 Pro mini version that has slightly different camera setup there, but should not disappoint for a mini smartphone as well. So we will have to see. But more about my China trip I will show and share with you in another video. So stay tuned for this. Otherwise, like and subscribe. You can write down some questions as well regarding this. And if you want to send me an X200 Pro, even when I'm in China, you want to give it to me for testing, for doing a video test, you can write to me down below as well. So we will figure something out. That's it. Until the next time. Bye.